Hey, what's up everybody, this is Muth24, and today I'll be taking a look at the 1 to 100 scale Master Grade Gundam F91. So looking at the front of the box art here, this is the 30th anniversary edition, so it does come with the clear parts, but other than the little logo here on the bottom, which you can't actually see on the screen at the moment, that little gold bit, and the 30th anniversary logo right there, aside from that, the box art is the same as you would get on the standard F91 Master Grade. You have the F91 fighting the Rafflesia there in the background. If you look at the sides, this side you have him fighting his action base, which is included. The reveal of the face underneath the traditional Gundam V-mask. There's the energy shield, his beam sabers, and then just kind of a shot of the kit with some of the clear parts attached. The bottom and the top of the box are pretty much the same as you have on the front, just scaled down a little bit. And then you've got a overview of the inner frame, his weapons and accessories, some of the decals, a back shot, and again the action base, and on that one he's just loaded with every weapon that is included with him. And there you have the pilot figures. You can look at the back here, that's the same with most of the 30th anniversary kits. You got just kind of a black and white shot of a bunch of the different kits that you can get, like the Freedom Gundam, the original RX-78, the Zeta, and a bunch of other random ones that I'm not going to list off at the moment. You do also get a little slip included, which I assume is just for use in Japan with ordering replacement parts. But then you do get the manual, which is pretty standard for the old style of instruction manuals. You got the F91 title there. You've got the side of his head, and flipping it open, you've got some info on the F91, and then we start building the kit with, oh, there's a list of the runners, but you do start building the kit with the body. And you're going to start with the cockpit and all the little vents and everything, and the body is actually a little bit more complex than I thought it was going to be. It's not that hard to build, it's just there's a lot of small parts that go into it, which was interesting, especially with the chest vent area here. There's actually like 3 layers or so that go into that, which is pretty interesting. And then you go into the head, which is a little bit more complex than other Gundam heads, simply because you have the the face mask ability to flip back and reveal the alternate face beneath. And then you start bringing the kit together. Here's some of the whole fights on stuff. Got him with the dual beam sabers there, which is pretty cool. Got a shot of him in space. Comparison between the model kit and the appearance of the Gundam in the movie. Here's the beam weapons. Again, more of the same stuff that you saw inside the box. Paint list if you were gonna paint the whole kit up. Legs, putting the torso and the legs together. Weapons, the Vespers, the rocket launcher, bazooka. Got the rifle, beam weapons, and then building the Rafflesia, which is pretty easy because there's only a few big parts to it, and then a list of decals and stickers on the back there, and then a final shot of the F91 in full color there on the back. So right out of the box, the colors you're going to get are this darker navy blue for the chest and for the Vespers. You're going to get a red for the feet and for the crotch piece and the jewel on the top of the head as well as the chin. You're going to get yellow for the cannons on his chest and the double V-fin. And then you're going to get gray for the interior of the kit, as well as a white color for the majority of the body. It's a little bit off-white, and I'm going to do a size comparison here in a minute, but just for color comparison, you can see here with the Turn A, the Turn A looks more of a pure white, whereas the F91 has a little bit more of a off-white color to it. It's not as drastically noticeable as something like on the Shining Gundam, where it looks more gray than it does white, but it is a bit different there. But you can see in size comparison that the Turn A, even though I don't have him standing straight up, I have his legs spread a little bit, that he is quite a bit taller than the F91. And here's a more average size Gundam, the RX-79 Master Grade, and you can see he's still, a head or so taller than the F91, which makes sense because the F91 is a pretty small Gundam compared to a lot of other ones from Gundam series and films. Now, if you've already built the Master Grade Crossbone Gundam, it's going to be pretty much the same in terms of poseability and the build for the F91. Granted, they both have very different outer frames, but the inner frame is pretty much the same with a few changes here and there. But for the F91's poseability, his arms can rotate 360 no problem. They can wiggle back and forth. You can extend them out that far. They can rotate below the shoulder 360. They can rotate at the elbow 360, and does kind of want to go all together, which is good when you're trying to pose him. Just not so much for review, but the elbows can bend 180. At the wrist here, this gray part wiggles around, and then you've got the ball joint that wiggles there, and then his wrist can flip back and forth. He's got a ball joint thumb, a ball joint trigger finger, and then a hinge for these 3 fingers. The head, like I said earlier, this top part's going to pop off a lot, which is for the face mask, but can go back and forth, can rotate, no problem, although you're going to have to force it if you want to go 360, and that's because of the way that the back of the helmet, or the headpiece there, comes down, and I don't exactly recommend doing that. As for the torso, get the arms up and out of the way. The torso has a lot of wiggle to it, and there's like 2 ball joints in there. It can rotate back and forth, though you really can't get it to go 360 because of how high up the front crotch piece there is and how far the back skirt comes up. The side skirts are on little ball joints. You can wiggle around, move up and down. Front skirts will wiggle quite a bit. The back skirt moves up and down a little bit, but really doesn't get all that much motion. The legs can go forward about that far, can go backwards about that far, and you'll notice the connection is actually at the front of that little spherical piece there instead of right in the center. So it does give it some more motion forwards. The knees will bend 180 degrees, no problem. Although you will have to adjust this gray part every once in a while because it does slide up and down. It's not directly connected to either one of the joints there. The ankle armor will wiggle back and forth, and these little yellow pieces on either side are supposed to just slide right into place, but I found that I had to glue most of them to get them to stay. The foot will go back and forth, will turn side to side, and will rock back and forth, though it is a little bit limited simply because of the 2 pistons that you got in there. And then the toe will bend quite a ways. Now, as for the stickers and decals on the F91, I didn't apply as many as I normally do, or as I have been with some of the more recent Master Grades I've been doing. I did put the big F91 dry transfers on his shoulders because they're iconic of the mobile suit, and I can't imagine of putting them together any other way. I did put the Vesper logos on the dry transfer decals on the side of either one of those. I put the SNRI decal on the back of that shoulder, and then the SA-001 on the back of the other shoulder. I think that one's actually supposed to go on the side of the leg, but I didn't really feel like putting a ton of stickers on the legs, and with that said, I did put the SNRI logo on that part of his leg, and the Earth Federation one on the other leg. But aside from that, as far as the spicing it up process compared to a lot of other kits that I've done, I did relatively minimal on this kit. I wanted to just leave it, pretty standard. Plus, it being as small as it is, I felt like if I put too many decals on there, it would, make it look a bit of an eyesore. So, the other decals you do get with it are a bunch of numbers. The F91 in a couple different colors there. You do get some like warning logos and such. And then you do get a alternate F91 logo for the shoulders there. And this one is the same red color, it's just there's no filler for the middle of the symbols or the numbers and letters there. So you could use that if you didn't want this to stand out as much, or if you wanted to paint it in a darker color so that it would pop out more. And then you do get a bunch of stickers here, which again, more warning labels, hazard signs, stickers to, indicate what's what on the kit, and another Earth Federation sticker, and some more SA-002, 003, etc. And then the foil stickers. You do get a bunch of these little triangular ones, which I'm going to try and point out all of them on this kit. There's one for either kneecap there. There's, well, the eyes are a sticker, and then the little crystal on top of the head. And his head does kind of pop off easy, and I'm sure you'll see that later on. But there's one of those triangular ones there, another one there, another one on that side skirt, and there's another one on inside of his side skirts. You have another shield pack piece. If I can get this open here, it basically is the piece that you attach the beam shield to. I'm pretty sure in the film he also uses one as like a bomb of sorts, but basically you have to get your you get something back in there to pop it out, and then it'll slide out, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's another one of those in there. It's the same as what you have on this arm over here. And then the final two black triangular stickers are on the vent flaps on the back of either leg, and then you do have this rectangular black sticker underneath the part which will attach his weapons when you're not using them and just putting them in storage on his back skirt there. Getting the vents on the back of the legs to open up is pretty easy. You're going to have to do them one at a time though, just because they're all on separate hinges. And this last one can be a little bit tricky to get out just because of how closely it comes to the lower leg there. But once you get them all out, you can see some nice inner detail there. The cockpit also opens, and you just slide this piece forward, and you can see Pilot Seabook Arno inside of there. Since this is a 30th anniversary release of the kit, you do get a tree of clear parts, and it just so happens that this kit comes with the D plate included in the clear parts, and a lot of the pieces that you get on this are for the legs, you know, the sides there, the upper legs, back of the hands, the upper arms, and some of the extra bits that go on the legs and the arms. So that's pretty much it for part 1. Check back for part 2, where I'll show off his transformation process, his weapons and accessories, the included action base, and give my final thoughts on the kit. See you then.